We are here at Joshua Tree Learning Center, and I'm with Stacey Adelman.
Yeah.
And she is a registered psychologist, a mentor, a coach, a teacher, and a mother. And I'm excited over the next few weeks to bring you sort of that mental health wellness over the summer. Thanks for taking the time with us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think we were talking earlier about our favorite podcast, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things, it brings me down. I'm listening, I'm learning lots. So I'm excited to spend this time with you talking about our mental health.
Okay.
Because we need to talk about that. And we can start here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, when we talk about mental health, I really like to think of it from a holistic lens. Like, there's so many things that we can tap into when we think about our mental health. So right now we're sitting in a counseling office, and of course we think of counseling when we think of taking care of our mental health. Mm-hmm. And of course that is really important, particularly if we've been, started a program and into the summer we want to continue with that program. But there's so many other things that we can be doing throughout our days and into our summer vacations that can really help us as well.
Yeah, really things that we can do for ourselves.
Yes.
Before. Would you think that, so I know we've got lots of things we're going to talk about, but when someone, we want counseling, do you ever say to them, because I think of a doctor, have you tried this before you come and see me? Is there that sort of, have you tried this?
Well, when we have our first session,
Okay.
Yes, we often talk about, what has worked, what doesn't work, what are your interests?
Yeah.
When we talk about being resilient, we like to talk about things like our values and our goals and our interests and our strengths.
Yeah.
What's the role of emotions? What are our weaknesses? And where do we need to start to develop that comprehensive plan? So we like to figure out, okay, well, what have we done and where do we need to go? And that first session is about gathering as much information as possible and then helping that person create a very holistic, well-rounded plan moving forward.
Yeah. What really caught me there, Stacey, was our interests. Mm-hmm. And I am, I'm over 50.
Yeah.
Kids have moved out. I don't know what my interests are anymore. And that's a real struggle with the mental health, because I sit there and go, I don't know what I like anymore.
Yeah.
All right. I was a mother, which was running, kids hockey, kids school, kids plays, and now it's like,
yes.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think a lot of viewers, I don't know what I'm interested in anymore. So I'm excited to,
Yes, that's very common,
Yeah.
and I've experienced that as well as my own children have grown. And as we get older, our interests change,
Yeah.
right? We've changed as people, and so it becomes this entire exploration of really learning about ourselves again. And I think a lot of that is exploration and getting out and trying new things and meeting new people and just seeing what we feel pulled to and giving it a try.
Yeah. Good. All right. So some ideas on supporting our mental health, and not just over the summer months, but it's a good place to start.
When I talk about mental health, I think we often think we have to make really big changes in our lives, right? Because it is such a big step, and we often wait until we're really, really struggling to seek out that help. But what we know from the research is that small, consistent habits create more lasting and bigger changes in our life. So I like to find, what are the small pockets of things that we can do throughout our day that can really have a significant or profound impact on our day.
Okay.
So something as simple as when I get up in the morning, maybe I go outside right away and I'm starting my morning coffee out on the deck, surrounded by plants and in the sunshine and having some fresh air. Or maybe getting up 10 minutes early to be able to enjoy that time so we're not flying out the door at the last minute.
Yeah.
So simple little things that when I'm stopped at a stoplight, maybe I can just do a body check and drop my shoulders. Often we keep our tongue on the top of our mouth, so it's just
As it is right now.
Yeah, it's strange how we do that when we're kind of stressed and right. We don't realize how crunched up we get throughout the day, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm really kind of stressed right now. So even just taking a 1 minute every time you go to the stoplight, just take that minute.
Yeah. You talk about getting up early. And I remember COVID had happened years ago, whatever that was. And, I had an event management firm, so done, nothing. And I continued to get up at 5:30 every morning because it was a habit, and I needed to keep it. And I used to be like, I'm going to do it, nothing like, crap. But I did, I kept it. And I just read more, drank more coffee.
Yeah.
Because I do love that. And people say, oh, you shouldn't drink that much coffee. But I love it.
Yes, exactly.
And it's part of my happy time. And,
Absolutely. And when we think about what helps people the most, particularly with anxiety or depression or going through really difficult times such as grief and loss, structure, consistency, and routine is like a security blanket.
Yeah.
So to maintain, we always encourage, especially through the summer months when the schedules are all changed and everything has just kind of gone a bit wonky, to maintain structure, consistency, and routine is just going to help us feel a lot more settled and grounded because it's predictable.
Yeah.
We know exactly what's coming. And so that decreases our anxiety.
Yeah. And I giggle at the sun because we do live in Saskatchewan, and the sun, it just disappears at, I don't know, in the fall, right? It gets dark, and it's dark when you get up, and I got one of those lights.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Like a I can't think of the name, but you're right. It's light therapy.
Light therapy.
Particularly helpful if we struggle with seasonal affective disorder. Because you're right, when the days get shorter and it's darker, it's colder, we're not as motivated to get up and get outside and get that fresh air. But there's a lot of great research being done with light therapy and the impact that has on helping us feel better and get up and get going and feel motivated to start our day.
Yeah. And getting outside, just things we can do outside. You talk about simple things, just even putting our feet in the grass.
Yes.
Feel it. Be in the moment.
Yep, being in the moment. There's doctors now that are actually prescribing nature and getting outside into nature. I think in some of the Western provinces, they were actually prescribing park passes to people to get outside and enjoy nature because of its profound effects on helping us heal and the effects of improving our mental health.
Wow.
And so we can do simple things right from our front yard. Just get out on the front step, go out in your bare feet, feel your feet in the grass. Even better, lay down in the grass, look up at the clouds, right? Look at the leaves, take that moment of mindfulness and just really being in the present moment.
Yeah.
While you're outside, it might be helpful to take pictures. I really, if I go on a walk, I like to take pictures of other people's flowers and how nice they are. But what that's doing is it's pulling us back to the current moment, and it's really a moment of mindfulness where you're enjoying something to the point that we want to capture it and take a picture of it. And so a collection of those moments really adds up over time and gets us feeling a lot better. At the very least, just sit on the front step and get some fresh air before going back into the house. If you don't feel like you can walk around the block or you're not able to do that, walk to the end of the driveway, wave to the neighbor and walk back inside. So break it down. It doesn't have to be big.
A 5K run.
No, it doesn't have to be that big. It's just a collection of moments really compounds into profound effects.
All right. I want to comment that the White City Library, you can take out a park pass.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. Provincial park passes, they have them. You can sign them out for the weekend.
I had no idea.
I know. So there we go.
Oh, what a great idea.
I know. Plug for them, White City Library.
Yes.
So, Stacey, we'll come back next week. I'm sure we have way more to talk to about supporting our mental wellness over the summer.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, come back next week. We have a lot more to talk about supporting our mental wellness over the summer.